Hello everyone and welcome back to yet another episode of the LEGO Star Wars The Clone Wars Set Ideas series. With LEGO celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Clone Wars TV shows, I thought we'd go ahead and take a look at what would happen if LEGO hypothetically were to take one of their regular set waves and make it fully Clone Wars themed. In the previous video we ended up taking a look at what that ultimate LEGO Star Wars The Clone Wars set wave would look like for Season 7, and in this video we're going to be building a LEGO Star Wars The Clone Wars set wave consisting of specifically seasons 4 through 6 sets. We will be following LEGO's kind of regular wave release schedule where you'll have a $20 battle pack to start, a couple of $30 to $35 sets, a 18 plus diorama, a few $50 to $80 sets, and then a couple $100+ sets. And with those constraints, we're going to go ahead and build that ultimate LEGO Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 4 through 6 set wave. Before we get started, I want to let you know that you will be seeing actual custom set concepts of each of the sets mentioned on this list. All custom builds, sets, box art, etc. are all made by me. You can check out my Instagram link in the description below to check out more custom sets as I post quite often on there. Now, seasons 4 through 6 of the Clone Wars has some pretty iconic arcs. We of course have Umbara, which is arguably one of the most iconic arcs in all of the Clone Wars. You have the arc where Ahsoka leaves the Jedi Order, the Zygerrian arc, the Obi-Wan undercover arc, so many great arcs, so we of course have to include sets from a variety of these. And it was definitely a really fun list to make. Obviously a few sets, few of these kind of Clone Wars episodes had to be cut out, but overall I'm really happy with the list that we've got. So let's go and get started with that $20 battle pack. Starting off at the $20 battle pack, I would do a 501st Clone Trooper battle pack. It's a little tricky in terms of finding a true good battle pack in this seasons 4 through 6. Of course, in my season 7 video, I already did the Ahsoka Troopers and the regular Clone Trooper battle pack. And 501st Clone Troopers with the Specialist battle pack out are as popular as ever. So it'd be really cool to just see them re-released once again, except in this case, a bit of a Umbara theme. For this, you could do, I would say 3 to 4 of your 501st Clone Troopers, maybe if you wanted 3 clones and 1 Umbaran, and then a ATRT build. Again, the ATRT, it's a pretty awesome vehicle. Folks love it for army building, but we've always gotten such oversized ATRTs, so it'd be great to finally see a 2-scale ATRT build, minifigure scale, highly detailed ATRT build. And again, with 4 clones, this would really be that true battle pack that we ended up not getting with set 75280. So starting off, Umbara themed, we have that 501st Clone Troopers battle pack. Moving along to the $30 to $35 set. In the past, LEGO's made some great sets in that price range, but my favorite, of course, are the LEGO Star Wars hallway scenes. You have the Dark Trooper attack, the Vader on the Tantive 4, and I thought why not continue that series with the attack on Ringo Vinda. Now this is definitely a bit more of an obscure niche battle in the beginning of Season 6 of the Clone Wars, but I think in this hallway $35 scene, it could actually be perfect for LEGO. LEGO has been making a variety of new clone legions in the past, including another obscure legion being the Mace Windu's 187th Battalion. So I thought this would kind of go in nicely, kind of following that, and kind of follow in the footsteps of that fighter tank set. For this, I would of course include Commander Doom, and 2 of his Doom Troopers, as well as 2 of the Rocket Super Battle Droids. I think at a bit of a cheaper price point, this is a bit of a kind of less risky play for LEGO, where they can kind of test the waters, see if a legion like this would sell well. After Mace Windu's legion and the fighter tank selling so well, I can guarantee you a set like this would sell amazing. Not only that, but you'd have a really cool display piece with the actual hallway in Ringo Vinda, some cool play features, ability to kind of launch some of those super battle droids to show that they're flying, and the actual hallway with some of those kind of green tones would actually be a really nice display piece, where if you bought multiple, you could make an awesome large Ringo Vinda scene. So that's my $30 to $35 set, the attack on Ringo Vinda hallway scene. Moving along, we have the 18 plus diorama set. Now in the past we've got some great sets, specifically original trilogy heavy with the Death Star trash compactor, Yoda's training, the duel between Luke and Vader in episode 6. And so I thought, why not? Let's throw some Clone Wars dioramas in there. And there are so many possibilities for any prequel related dioramas. But for this one, I had to choose arguably one of the most iconic scenes in all of the Clone Wars, and that is Ahsoka leaving the Jedi Order, or in this case, the Wrong Jedi. This set, again, would be similar in size to those previous dioramas. I would go ahead and include kind of the entrance to the Jedi Temple with those kind of two large statues, as well as the staircase. You'd have Anakin and Ahsoka on those staircases, as well as the kind of quote that Ahsoka gives just before leaving the Jedi Order. The reason I think this actually would be a really cool diorama to have is because this was the same steps Anakin stepped onto in Order 66 in Revenge of the Sith. So you can easily buy this, add some 501st Troopers, and you have a completely different scene. And therefore, I think, this set would sell great, especially for folks who really want to have a Lego Jedi Temple. I think this is the next best thing. A really nice detailed diorama. Definitely include a few more of those corner slopes in tan, as those are really expensive. Make that piece a bit cheaper for folks who would love to build a large-scale Jedi Temple. And I think this would be the perfect diorama in that $30 to $50 range and would sell amazing. Moving along to the $50 to $80 sets, we have three in this video. Starting off, we have the Defoliator Tank. The Dathomir episodes in seasons 4 through 6 were pretty iconic. You, of course, had the episode Massacre, where Asajj Ventress's homeworld is pretty much destroyed by General Grievous. And I thought we needed to have a set of that. And specifically, we should have the Defoliator Tank. For this, we should have a Defoliator Tank at the similar scale to that AAT from a couple years ago that LEGO made. Figures-wise, of course, Grievous, Asajj Ventress are a must, potentially in her kind of Dathomir outfit. We'd want to have a Night Sister, as well as a couple of battle droids. With the popularity of that AAT, I think the set would sell great. And keeping it in that Dathomir theme, we would finally get a Asajj Ventress figure and the Night Sisters, and even we could throw in a Mother Talzin, and that would really make the set sell well and be one of the best sellers if this set were to come out. So that is the first $50 to $80 set, the Defoliator Tank. Moving along to the second of the $50 to $80 sets. Now we know LEGO, they love their Jedi Starfighters and Jedi Interceptors, release one pretty much every year. And now we're back to Jedi Interceptors, and I thought rather than releasing a Obi-Wans or Anakins for the 10th time, we should do something kind of more cool, yet still somewhat iconic, and we have Ahsoka and Anakin's Jedi Interceptors from Season 6 of the Clone Wars, kind of the beginning of that final 4-episode arc, where they're kind of invading Cato Neimoidia before they get the call to go back to the Jedi Temple. For this, you would include two of the Jedi Interceptors, being Ahsoka and Anakin's. These are actually quite different from what you see in other media, specifically Anakin's Jedi Interceptor is completely different from what you see in Revenge of the Sith. So kind of re-releasing it here actually would be great, because it's a similar design, but still completely new. And then you have Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor, which looks amazing in that dark red color, and with Ahsoka's popularity nowadays, anything Ahsoka will sell great. And on top of that, throw in a few more of those buzz droids to kind of reenact that scene where Anakin's Jedi Interceptor gets destroyed, and you've got an amazing set. For the figure selection, of course, Ahsoka and Anakin are a must. I'd throw Captain Rex in there since he was briefly in that scene as well, R2-D2, and finally R7, Ahsoka's astromech droid. We haven't seen that droid in quite a long time, probably 10 plus years now, so it would be really cool to see an updated version, more modernized version in this set. So that is the invasion on Cato Neimoidia. In the final $50 to $80 set, I have the escape from Zygerria. Now yes, this is a bit of a controversial arc where it kind of deals with slavery. However, I still think it is a pretty well-known arc for the Clone Wars, and it has some pretty cool characters, pretty cool locations, that I think it'd be really nice to see some sort of set from this. And in this case, I'd have the arena from Zygerria. For this, I would go ahead and include kind of the facade of the arena. The reason I wanted to do this was it has so many cool unique colors and those teals, olive greens, tans, maroons, and we really don't see kind of these unique colored items from Star Wars, as we see too many of these kind of gray colored ships. So kind of breaking it up with a set like this would actually be really cool. So we'd go ahead and include the kind of arena grounds with Anakin, Obi-Wan, a couple of these Zygerrian soldiers, and then the actual facade, which has a spot for the Queen to sit in. And of course, you'd have figures like Captain Rex and Ahsoka in their kind of disguises. I thought this scene, especially showing off kind of Anakin's power against these Zygerrians, was a pretty cool scene. Thought it would be great at that kind of $50, probably closer to $80 price range. I think would sell well. A lot of Clone Wars fans, even if it is a bit more controversial, I think that could technically also help in its popularity, maybe sell even more. And this would be a great set, kind of representing a pretty interesting arc in the Clone Wars. Moving along, we have the $200+ sets. First one here coming in right at $100. I mean, of course, Umbara being the most iconic arc of these 4 through 6 seasons, you had to have something on it. And I thought at first I was going to go ahead and do 2 Umbara related sets, but I thought I'd kind of throw those in together and make one large Umbara set. Now for this, I would include 2 of the Umbaran vehicles, one being the Umbaran hover tank, and 2 being the kind of larger caterpillar tank that the Umbarans use. Again, I think those were the 2 really cool vehicles. We already got that kind of Umbaran cannon about 10 years ago, so I think we don't really need a remake of that, but rather these 2 other awesome and unique vehicles should include a couple of Umbarans, a couple 501st, Anakin, of course, Rex, even 5s. I think that would be a great minifigure selection. You could throw in a ATRT as well. Bara was a pretty iconic scene, and you had to have something. And specifically, those Umbaran vehicles are just so cool, so unique, that I think they would sell great and fly off the shelves. So that is the Battle on Umbara at that $100 price range. Finally, moving along to that $150 set, we have the box. Now, there are some pretty other iconic arcs in the season, specifically the Onderon arc, but I had to throw something in from the Obi-Wan Undercover arc, and I ended up doing the box. For all of you Indiana Jones fans out there, you know there's that brand new Temple of the Golden Idol set. So what happens if you took that and made it Star Wars, specifically the levels of the box? For this, I would include 5 minifigures. You'd have Embo, Duran, Reiko Hardin, Cad Bane, and Count Dooku. Specifically, it'd be really cool to see kind of that Duran fig and how LEGO were to tackle it. Then also, it'd be cool to get a hybrid version of Dooku, where he's kind of in that Clone Wars format, but has kind of the more modernized design that LEGO minifigures have nowadays. For the actual set itself, I'd have 3 levels. Now, yes, there are 4 levels to the box, but I think the main 3 that we definitely think are quite iconic, one being the room with all the lightsabers or the lasers. Second, you have the one with the ray shields. And third, you have the one with the sniper room. This would be actually pretty cool, where each of these rooms, similar to that Indiana Jones set, would have some cool play feature along with it. Starting off, you have the lightsaber room or the laser room. Here, you could actually have the feature where you have that knob and pull it forward, and the actual lightsaber or laser boxes kind of go back and forth, similar to how you see in the show. I think that would look great. For the middle room with the ray shields, you can actually take the 2 ray shield sections and move them in and out, similar to how you saw in that Death Star trash compactor set. And then finally, you have the scene with Reiko Hardin and the snipers, and for this, when you move the knob, the actual target can move back and forth. So some pretty cool play features. And overall, I think this would be a great set. I think they could easily make a series or a mini subline of these kind of Indiana Jones styled large diorama sets. I think that would be amazing. Of course, in Star Wars, there are so many possibilities in kind of this format. So that would be the last of the LEGO Star Wars The Clone Wars Seasons 4 through 6 sets. There we have it. So that was a look at the ultimate LEGO Star Wars The Clone Wars Seasons 4 through 6 set wave. If you're interested in more details, more images, other custom sets, definitely check my Instagram, link in the description below to check those out. But let me know what you guys thought. What sets you love on this list? Are there any I left off? Let me know down in the comments what other awesome Seasons 4 through 6 Clone Wars sets could be included in this list. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos coming very soon, and I'll see you all next time.